All right, everyone, so let's look in detail here as to what is covered in this course. So I'm going to go over the curriculum with you here quickly. Now, the first thing I want to get across is that this is more of an intermediate level tax course. So I am going to assume that you know the deductions, you know the tax credits. So I'm not going to get into the detail as to the rules and for the most part on what to deduct and the rules related to each and every deduction and each and every tax credit. That is covered in the introductory tax course that you should have under your belt before you take this course. So I am going to have that understanding that you know what I'm talking about when I talk about Schedule 4s and Schedule 3s and the T-slips and the guides and everything like that. So this is an intermediate level course. What I do suggest is if this course does interest you, that you go and you take an introductory tax course first, something like my personal income tax course where I go through in quite a bit of detail all of the income elements, all of the deductions, the tax credits, forms, guides, and slips. So that's important to have. That way we can build from that foundation with this course. Now, in the first unit, we're going to go through best practices. So this is going to be really helpful for you in putting together all that information that I've taught you in terms of slips and guides and forms. I'm going to show you how to approach actually inputting that information into a tax return and how to go about preparing it from start to finish. We'll look at things like the information you're going to get from clients and the step-by-step process, and starting from when the client walks through the door all the way down to you actually giving them the information that needs to be signed, completing it, and ultimately getting paid if you are starting your own tax practice. So in the first unit, we're going to be looking at families. So all of the elements you'll come across when dealing with tax returns with families. So typically, you're going to be looking at, husband and wife, two spouses, and with a number of children. We're going to look at childcare expenses and so forth that relate to what you will encounter when it comes to preparing family returns. An extension from that will be students. So you'll come across situations, or you might have the situation where you have a student in a particular family that's off in post-secondary. So we're going to look at ways to maximize tax credits, how you go about getting the information to prepare the returns, and how to claim tuition credits properly, and as well as some curveballs in terms of what you might encounter in some situations with student tax returns, family tax returns. The next unit is all about investors. So we're going to look at investment tax returns, people that have capital gains, capital losses, that might have a number of income T-slips, T3s, T5s, 5013s, 5018s, whatever the case might be. So we're going to look at some situations that apply to investors. Next, as an extension to the investment module, what about people that have rental properties? So we're going to get into quite a bit of detail. Rental properties are quite straightforward, so we're going to get into the areas that you might encounter some problems or some reporting issues that you might come across. And this is going to be a really good unit in terms of really augmenting your information and your knowledge on rental properties. And we can't forget business income. Business income will be a big part of your practice if you do decide to prepare tax returns for clients that have business income. So we're going to get into the same situation in terms of what you might encounter in filing, how you're going to get information from clients, how you should go about piecing that information together, and HST, GST reporting issues as well. So this is a very important unit. And finally, we're going to look at, in terms of tax return preparation, seniors. So seniors have special rules that pertain to them. They have special credits that apply to only them. And more importantly, some of the frequently asked questions you're going to come across by seniors with things such as their CPP, their OAS, so their Canada Pension Plan Old Age Security, as well as their other pensions. And a relatively new tax break in Canada has been the pension income splitting for seniors. So we're going to nail that down so that you always have the most optimal tax situation for your seniors clients. And in the final module, we're going to be looking at dealing with the Canada Revenue Agency, the CRA. So if you are starting your own tax practice, unfortunately, you are going to come across a lot of situations where you have to deal with the CRA in terms of pre-assessment reviews, post-assessment reviews, and a number of other items. And in particular, sometimes fighting the battle for your clients in terms of getting credits that they are entitled to, and just, making sure that it's all optimized. Sometimes the CRA won't agree with your filing positions. So we're going to go through things like filing objections, filing T1 adjustments for things that may have been missed or if mistakes have been made. So you'll have that down pat as well, because the tax door doesn't close, so to speak, on April 30th or June 15th. You do have to deal with personal tax clients all year round. So what is the cost of the course? Well, I think you'll find the course fee very reasonable. It's only $89, and that's including all taxes, so including GST, HST, or PST. So the $89 is all in. So what do you get for that $89? Well, currently the course is over 11 hours of online tutorials. I do plan on adding additional videos, additional training as tax season gets along, and I build on my knowledge through my own tax experience. And any questions or concerns students might have, they can leave them on the course, and I will endeavor to answer as many of the questions as I possibly can. So for $89, that's the cost probably of a couple of textbooks or even one textbook in tax. You get 11 hours of instruction. You get to look over my shoulder as I prepare tax returns from start to finish. As for myself, well, if you don't know me already, I'm Ian DeNovo, and I have over 15 years of tax preparation experience. I've prepared thousands of tax returns, and through my courses here at the Canadian Tax Academy, I plan on extending my knowledge over to you and hopefully have you become a great tax student, a great accountant, or just help you earn some extra money in your tax preparation business. So if you are interested in taking the course, just scroll down and hit enroll, and you will instantly have access to preparing tax returns best practices.